Welcome to the Sex, Money, and Real Estate Podcast, the show for real estate couples about how to close more deals in the bedroom. My name is Nancy Jameson.
And I'm Bill Jameson.
And each week we deep dive into juicy, intentional, sexy conversations, sharing with you what it takes to create balance in your intimate relationships and your real estate business. Thank you so much for being here.
Sup, baby.
That's hilarious. That's a new one. What's up with you, boo?
Just hanging out.
Woo.
Just hanging out on this beautiful day.
Yeah, is that what we're doing? With all the things, all the irons in the fire, we're hanging out.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is a beautiful way to relate to it, you know. I mean, all the roles and the responsibilities of the creation and the businesses and the parenting, and you know, they're in virtual school this year, or this at least this week.
Well, it's just this week as far as we know. So far.
As far as we know, yes. And so yeah, I appreciate the relationship to that of just hanging out. It's
nice.
Great, as it's very intentional.
Always is.
And yet to be relaxed in that. That's awesome. So yes. Well, welcome everybody. I am Nancy Jameson, and this is my amazing partner in life, partner in crime, partner in love, partner in bed. What's your name?
Oh, hey, it's Guillermo Jameson.
Gosh.
In bed.
Okay.
But walking
That's
around
funny.
on Bill Jameson.
That's
Hi.
awesome. Very cool. And we are your amazing co-hosts to Sex, Money, and Real Estate, where we believe that joyous, abundant, mature relationships are not only possible, it is the jam. What does that mean?
Putting the jam on the bread.
Yes.
The sweetness of life.
Yes.
Spreading that sweetness of life across the bread.
Jam on it. Absolutely. Yeah. So jam is joyous, abundant, mature relationships. And so we believe that that's possible in your intimate relationships, just as it is in your already successful real estate business, new real estate business, whatever it is. But the balance of those two things are definitely possible. And so that's what we talk about here. So it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So welcome. I
want to dive right in. Oh,
okay.
Wait. I want to do magic first.
Okay,
and then we'll
cool.
dive in.
Okay, cool.
Right in.
Yes.
Cool. Magic. That is, that thing around empowering yourself to influence self, others, and life.
Mm-hmm. So why do we talk about magic first?
We talk about magic first, just kind of like, first of all, to set the tone, and number two, to let you all know that when you take the time to smell the roses and check out the beauty that is around you, however that shows up, and all the gifts that you have created, you get to create more of it. Because once you acknowledge one or two pieces of it, then a whole bunch more shows up. And, I think that's pretty freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
So, we like to recognize magic, and, feel free to, before, after we do, to pause this recording for a moment and reflect upon, one or two things that have happened in your life over the last day or two, or month or two, or year or two that are completely magical, and you have created, through your own manifestation.
Mm-hmm. So, your own influence.
So pause now.
Okay, come back.
Awesome. Okay, so don't get lost in there. Awesome. So my magic today is all around our son Lucas. Lucas has an assignment, or I don't know if it's still ongoing or not, but he kind of sent me a draft of, which I thought was pretty cool too, of this assignment that he has from school. And it's a 2020 quick write review is what he has this titled as. Mm-hmm. And so I have it up here, and I won't read the whole thing, but just, I just love his perspective so much, and his choice, to choose, in an amazing way. So this assignment is it says that 2020 was a crazy year. I loved it, but I hated it. But I loved it too. Loads of people died, got sick, and were hurt. But let's focus on the goods and not the bads, because I have a lot of goods to share.
Mm-hmm.
I turned 13 and had a really great birthday. We went to Houston's, had a custom Minecraft cake made, and it looks just like the game. My brother took me to an Epic gaming store, and I got some awesome gaming stuff. My Christmas was awesome. I still got to see my grandparents almost every day. I spent time with my family. I got loads stronger. My grandma got a cat. I got my dad's old phone, and then I got a better phone with 5G.
Yes.
I made new awesome friends and teachers this year. I went on lots of hikes and ran with my family. I chose to wake up at 5 a.m. and work out on Mondays, and 6:10 on Thursdays to work out, and 7:15 on Saturdays to go on a 4-mile run with my awesome running group. I made lots of new Minecraft skins to use. My family and I binge watched the whole Marvel Avengers movies in order.
We did. All 25 of them.
We got a ping pong table. He had fun sleepovers and play dates. And for Christmas, him and his brother got a 3D printer from Santa.
Yeah.
All right. So I did read the whole thing. But it's so much fun. I just love that, he chose to focus on his abundance, because there'd be a lot of things for a kid to not feel abundant about these days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So,
it is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
that's my magic, baby.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, welcome.
Cool. So my magic this week is that the piece that I'm going to share, because I have loads and loads of magic every day, but we woke up to this sign in our front yard that was delivered by our office. And the sign says, thank you so much for being a top producer, like a top producing agent. And then the other side says top producing agents live here, which is really cool. And so, oh gosh, I'm remembering the most important line on the last line says honk, to acknowledge them as essentially as you drive by, honk to acknowledge the fact that they're top producing agents. So there's so many things that I love about that. One, I love the fact that the office took it upon themselves to totally think outside the box and present this and deliver them to our house. And two, that in the face of circumstances, we influenced ourselves to still have a rock star year. We increased our average sales price, and it was just really powerful example of us choosing to still deliver amazing service, still have a very powerful year. And, of course, you all know that we started the podcast last year. So with the implementation of the podcast, a full coaching schedule, and then to be in this position with real estate, that was really cool.
Yeah. And
then the third thing is that we farm this neighborhood. And so geographically farm our neighborhood. And so now as people are driving by and walking by, because everybody's still walking by and participating in, some of the amazing habits that they took on during the shutdown, but everybody walks by and they see it and they're like, oh my gosh, that's right. They live here. So it was really cool. So we,
I am wondering how long the HOA is going to let us keep it up. It's a real estate sign, so
and it's 10 feet off the street.
It is.
So it's really cool. So I appreciate that on so many levels. So thank you to our office, and thank you to us, and away we go.
Yes.
2021.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, you were saying you wanted to dive right in.
Oh, are we I think we dove.
Did we dive?
Yeah.
Okay.
We dove in. And we're diving in deeper now. So today we're talking about the power of choice.
Yes.
It's sometimes we forget that we have the power of choice. And like Lucas choosing to focus on the positive, it's always a choice. You can go one way or the other. The pitfalls. And today we're going to discuss, the choice, the pitfalls, and how to benefit from your power of choice. So
stick with us.
Stick with us
as we roll through this.
So we're in we are with you guys. We're in the trenches. We're mastering our methods as well, and our systems and things like that. And we're all at different levels in our personal journeys, right? And so we are on a journey as well. You heal up one thing and then, you move on to heal up the next thing. And, choosing positivity, choosing, the remembering that you have choice in all things is remembering that you are not a victim to your circumstances, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, we definitely share tools with you that will add context to your current paradigm. So we coach you on how to build that jam relationship, that joyous, abundant, mature relationship. And it starts with yourself. And we're very big on, as you know, creating the balance between the joyous, abundant, mature relationship that you have with your partner and in your business partnership as well. And for us, and like so many other mega couples out there, or couples or teams, the intimate partnership and the business partnership are one and the same. So that's what we do here. And, so I appreciate you reminding everyone and reminding us that we're all in the trenches together. We're all on this journey together. And the tools we share with you add the context. They offer distinctions or a fresh perspective on how to utilize and how to view your personal power, grow your personal power. And again, they offer a way for you to question your current paradigm that was handed to you that you may not necessarily be in charge of. It adds coding. We always talk about that, where it's adding a piece of code, a powerful piece of code to your paradigm that will add to the richness of your experience, of your personal life, your personal partnership, and add to the richness of your business life too. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Remember, every choice you have made now, like right now, has led you to exactly where you are.
Yeah. I actually remember when my dad I remember when I first started hearing what my dad was sharing with me. And that's what he would say to me. That's how it started, was every choice that you have done or created or chosen thus far has created you up until this moment, has brought you to this moment. And I was probably like 13 or 14 or 15 or something. And man, I didn't like that.
It is interesting. I don't really remember the first time. I feel like I was younger when I heard that phrase for the first time as well. And I think I wore it on. I remember wearing it on and remembering, because I know I was younger, probably in my 20s or something when I first heard that. And just how crazy that was for me as a concept, but then it really sunk in because we couldn't be anywhere else. I could not be anywhere else because, I am in charge I've made all the decisions.
And I think, I feel like that's part of this conversation is the responsibility of the choice. And when I think about this, and I feel like where we were when we first started thinking about that or hearing that phrase, it was all external. Like we were taught to believe that things were happening to us.
That's a great point.
And so everything was external. So we didn't have any control over our creative process. We didn't have any control over our mind or whatever, like things were happening to us. And so as we have developed both personally and professionally and like really, again, added context to that phrase or to that belief, it's shifted and now it's internal. And so it's like, whoa, this is internal. Like this is my choice. This is, I do have the power. I have the responsibility of making that choice. And that is where
nobody else outside of you has made those decisions to get you where you are right now. And you can think that, and then, like you said in the beginning of this, then you are a victim to it.
Yeah. And then there's that denial piece that kicks in.
Right.
And we did an episode on denial.
So go back to that.
Awesome. So yeah, absolutely. And again, this translates from personal into business. So whether we're talking about personal decisions or professional decisions in your real estate business, they have implications. It's important to realize that. So
I'm going to read this little excerpt. It says, in the book, Man's Search for Meaning, Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl observed that Everything observed that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Even when life deals us a horrible hand, every human being has the freedom to change it at any instant. Essentially, we always retain the power of choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So go read that if you haven't read that little book.
Yeah, that little book. Yeah, Man's Search for Meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's definitely a principle that we practice. We have Bill and I are both in and lead accountability groups, and part of the accountability group is, well, the purpose of the accountability group is to live a principally centered life. And so this principle that we study, for every choice there is a consequence, is one of the principles that we practice and study. And it's exactly this. We always retain the power of choice.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you align with that principle, the power that gives you access to is responsibility. So in other words, you believe that you're completely responsible for your choices.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I'm completely responsible for my choices. And so that's a very powerful belief right there. It's a powerful choice to believe that, because in our opinion, in my opinion, and my experience, when I wear that principle on, my life grows, my business grows, my personal life grows. So it expands, it adds life to me, it adds life force, it adds money to the bank account.
Well, what it does is it shows you that you're the creator of your experience,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
So
exactly.
nothing happens to you.
Right.
And, it gives you the opportunity to be proactive versus reactive.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. We talk about proactivity all the time. I mean, that's habit 1 in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is being proactive with that. And so the essence of being proactive is choice.
Yeah. So in terms of choices, there are higher vibrating choices, right? Choices that add to you or to your business. Or,
right. That's what I was talking about before, about right. The, when you have a higher energetic choice or a higher vibrating choice, vibrating in terms of energy, then those choices add to your life experience or add to your, well, obviously your business too, but.
What about choices that subtract or take away?
Yeah, those are the lower vibrating choices. And so the opposite is true as well. And so there are corresponding consequences as a result of wherever you choose. So, again, if you're choosing a healthy, more powerful choice, then there's a higher or healthier consequence. And if it's a lower vibrating choice, then you'll experience a lower vibrating consequence. So what do we mean by that? So if I'm imbuing the habit of prospecting, and I have an understanding that if I'm prospecting, if I move my prospecting from 1 hour a week to 5 hours a week, then that will add life to my business. It'll add money to my bank account.
Yes.
It'll add clients to my database. So that adds. And so that's the consequence. So the choice was, I'm going to prospect, I'm going to increase my prospecting from 1 hour to 5 hours. And the consequence of that is it's going to add clients to my database, business and money to my bottom line. And then ultimately, I'm going to experience a higher experience of life, a higher real estate experience.
Yeah, absolutely. More clients, as you have those, are in those conversations more, you're going to have some different conversations as well as you become more practiced and, and really sharpen that saw, which is part of one of the
habit
habits.
Number 7.
Yeah. So part of that consequence would be, yes, more sales, more people in your database. And it could be that your average sale price goes up as well.
Absolutely. And then all of a sudden you get one of those really cool signs in your front yard.
Right.
Boom.
Yes. The ripple effect, baby. Yes.
And so, again, on the flip side, if your goal is to release weight, but yet you choose to go eat fast food, well, that's a lower vibrating choice. That's a lower energetic choice. That choice subtracts from your goal of releasing weight. So again, that's how you can, you don't have to judge it like good, bad, wrong, right, whatever. It just is what it is. It's a choice. Yet when you're looking at it, you guys have heard this before. Does this choice move you closer to or further away from your goal?
Yes.
How many times have you guys heard that? Well, this is a different way of looking at it, from the energetic space. It allows you to move out of a judgment space and into an assessment space. So, I mean, really, we can go into, there's a ton of examples that are coming up right now for me for choosing a higher choice or a lower choice. But again, we wanted you to see that you always have choice, regardless of what it is. You always have choice.
And if you don't think you have a choice, why don't you reach out to us so we can have a conversation around it? I'd love to have that conversation with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's interesting because that is one of the pitfalls of choice. Is like when you're thinking that, like when you're in that low space, that bad day, that you're having that experience around that bad day, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this just can't get any worse. I don't have a choice in this matter. And like you literally start going down that road of that conversation, which then, because you're focusing on that conversation, it creates more of those circumstances and more of that conversation because what you focus on expands. So if you're expanding into the negative by choosing more negative choices, then then you're just spiraling. I mean, and that is a pitfall. Yep.
So what's the converse conversation around that? Benefits of a choice.
Well, I mean, you have the belief that empowers you, that says, man, I can choose at any moment to create something new. I mean, you're really in the driver's seat. So it's, if I can create this negative choice or this negative experience, well, then that means that I can also create, conversely, the positive experience or this amazing, like related to anything. If we're going to keep it in real estate or.
Yeah. Or, and if we don't, I mean, it's still what I'm hearing you say is it gives you full expression, right? It gives you freedom. If you're looking at the pitfalls, then you may look at victim or having the shackles on. And if you're looking at choosing to make a higher choice, you may feel freedom in there.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to feel freedom because you're not victimized by it. You're in the driver's seat. You feel powerful by it. You're like, oh, okay, cool. I am responsible for my choices. Even though I just did that or I just chose that, I consciously realized that I chose that choice that moved me further away from my goal. And then you get to go, oh, okay, cool. Well, do I want to keep choosing this or do I want to choose something else? No. Okay, cool. Well, the weight loss goal is more important to me. So I'm not going to go eat fast food again. I'm going to go eat a salad.
Right.
And that's how you keep choosing in that direction, which, again, I feel like that's one of the best benefits of choice is that utilizing choice as the action item to move you in the direction of increasing, or adding a new habit or adding a new goal is like leaning into that choice and making a game out of it. So it's okay. If I'm going to release 5 pounds, then I'm going to choose this, this, and this, and create those healthy choices around attaining that goal. And just lean into it and make a game out of it.
Yep. And, we're not saying that making the choice is always easy.
No, not at all.
Sometimes making that choice it's confronting or, it just feels plain hard, or you won't, sometimes you won't choose for yourself the same thing as you would if you had some accountability around it. And so that's why it's so important to have, some trusted partners and friends and, people who will, speak the truth and you will receive the feedback from them about around your goals and what you want to achieve and help you to help you stay on track and make choices that move you in the direction that you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, and we've talked about this a few times before as well. Is that accountability partner is like you want a mentor or a coach that is above where you are, like the level in which you want to attain. So have somebody that's above you that can assist you in pulling you up. Then you have somebody that is in the trenches with you, maybe like a fellow agent or a fitness partner or somebody that's in maybe the same class with you or that you work out or run with or something or walk with or something like that. And so they're in the trenches with you. They're like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'm going through this too. And then you may want to think about having conversations with somebody who is in the process of going on their journey. So in other words, if you have a friend, they're like, oh my gosh, you walk, 3 times a week. I would love to do that. So that's under the concept of each one teach one. So if you have somebody that's above you, that's, you're getting inspiration from somebody that you're with, and then somebody that you're coaching or training, then it just really empowers you 360 degrees around. So
yes,
that accountability circle is very important.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what are some choices, what are some choices we make to help us remember that we have choices?
Well, I think fasting is for sure, the one that we lean on a lot. And so we fast. So Bill and I do a 30-hour fast from Sunday until Tuesday morning. And then we break fast with a salad, and usually like a salad and egg or some kind of like protein and vegetable combination. And then we fast from Tuesday night until Thursday morning after our workout, our playtime. And so those are our 2 30-hour fasts. And we've had that practice for years now. So if you're listening to us and going, golly, how are you guys not dying? Like, keep in mind, we've been doing this for probably 7 or 8 years at this point. And at least the Monday. I mean, I know probably Wednesday, it's 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, that one's come and gone a little bit. And yet we always seem to circle back to it and, bring it back in.
Yeah. So, fasting reminds us that we have choice.
Yeah.
Choice what to eat, choice what not to eat, choice over our emotions, over our attachments. And I always think it's so funny. We're in the closing and our closing attorneys are like, you're fasting? Like, you don't want any candy? Can you get you any soda? It's like,
well, I love when we have a Monday closing and our closing attorneys know that, Mondays are a big day for us to fast.
Yeah.
And they pull the candy jar away from us because they know that Monday's our day, which I think is pretty funny and great that they know us that well.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. But yeah, so fasting for sure. What about you?
For me, being the buyer's agent on our team,
rockstar buyer's agent.
Thank you.
Don't let him sell himself short.
is knowing that I don't need to be in the car all the time, and so I do plan to have certain days off during the week, and and it doesn't always work out where clients take off the same day that you do.
Right, of course.
I mean. It's just how it is. It's part of the business and, part of living life.
Yep.
So, on the days when I'm going to take off and there's self-care involved and I'm hanging out with you guys, or I just need to hang out with myself for a while, I will literally find a showing assistant or I have one on call so that those houses still get shown and the clients still get taken care of and I still get taken care of at the same time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it took me a while to make that decision, and make that choice. I felt very attached to, the client experience and make, and really thinking that I was so quote unquote special that nobody else could open a door like I open a door. At the end of the day, it's the relationship in the business, not necessarily, how much you think by opening the door. So
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you having the showing assistants show the property too.
Yes.
Awesome. And then, the other thing is that's coming up that is important, again, especially as we're implementing new habits or employing a new strategy or even a new endeavor, is doing or deciding to do the hard thing. And I'm air quoting here, the hard thing every day until it becomes easy.
Yeah.
So like, if you're incorporating, again, like a new lead generation system or a new person on staff or a new part of your business, then you gotta stay consistent at it. You gotta choose it. You got to choose it, because it's one thing to just strategize around it, and then there's another thing to put it into action.
Right.
So you got to keep choosing it, and again, make it a game, gamify it. So it's, whether it's competitive or exciting or invigorating, whatever it is. But if it has the ability to empower you, then it will take you to the next level. So you just got to keep after it.
Yes.
And, you can think of that as a means to employ for adding walking or running into your exercise routine, or some simple stretches. Like, at first, getting out or putting your shoes on in 34-degree weather to go outside, to go for a walk or to go for a run, it's a little, you go through that monkey mind all the time. It's like, oh no, I'd rather be home. I'd rather sit here. No, like, get out there. Choose it. Choose you. Like, choose to win. Choose. You thought of it for a reason. So choose it. Choose yourself. Choose to be all in. Like, go for it. Why not?
Yeah. And, don't go for it half-assed. Go for it. Put it on your schedule. Get some accountability around it, until you can make it a habit that's going to stick, because you realize that you're doing it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really important. And then as you choose it over and over again, and you choose yourself over and over again, your self-confidence goes up, your self-esteem goes up, your self-worth goes up.
Yes.
The ripple effect that happens on you and your partnership, your intimate partnerships, the ripple effect that has on your business, like that's what we talk about, what is building from the inside out. And so you're choosing you, and that's going to show up in so many different areas. It's so worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so worth it. So, just really to recap, like, remember that every choice, there is a consequence, and the power, when you align with that principle that gives you access to, is responsibility.
Yes.
So you have the responsibility for your choices. You are responsible for your choices. So make some great ones.
Beautiful.
Make some great ones.
Our best virtual friend, Mike Dooley from Notes from the Universe, says that low days exist to remind you that you still have choices. High days exist to remind you of how fast you rebound, amongst other things. I love that little quote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's Notes from the Universe. We get those delivered to our inbox every day, and they're actually different. So I get different ones, and Bill gets different ones, and we save them all, and they're just really inspirational tidbits, little nuggets. So that was so we'll include that in the notes in case
the show notes. Okay.
Yeah, in case anybody else wants to get that piece of inspiration coming into their inbox.
Nice.
It's awesome. Yes.
Cool. Well, listen, if y'all choose to reach out to us,
and that's an empowering choice. That's
to
a
reach
choice
out
that
to us?
adds to your life experience and to your business. Yes.
to have a conversation around this podcast or any other, or to have a conversation around what coaching with either Nancy or I or both of us looks like.
Yeah, or
short
real
term,
estate.
long term, real estate.
Yes.
We are we're here for you. You can reach out to us on Instagram. You can reach out to us on Gmail. They're both Sex Money Real Estate. And on Facebook as well.
Yep.
So we're around. You can find us.
Absolutely.
And you can find us individually on LinkedIn.
Awesome.
Anywhere else?
We're everywhere, man.
We are everywhere. Cool. All right. Well, that's what I got for the day. Baby.
Yes. Very cool. Well, I appreciate this time with you.
Yes.
Thank you for choosing to podcast with me.
Yes. Now I'm going to take a nap.
It's a great choice.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Love goes out.
Peace.
Wow, what a show. Thank you so much for listening. If you're inspired, we ask that you share the podcast with one person and subscribe and follow our show. I'm Nancy Jameson.
And I'm Bill Jameson.
And remember, it's a great life.
Woo!
Quick note about the Sex, Money, and Real Estate podcast. We are not doctors or licensed therapists. We are a joyous, abundant, and mature couple passionately sharing our story of growth around sex, money, and real estate. Our thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are our own, so please consult your doctor, healthcare provider, or your broker regarding any questions or issues you have related to your physical or mental health or specific state laws regarding your real estate business.